Shema Yasharallah Yahweh Allahaganawa Yahweh Achad Shema Yasharallah Yahweh Allahaganawa Yahweh Achad Shema Yasharallah Yahweh Allahaganawa Yahweh Achad Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shai, Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shai, Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakha Hakudash, Ka Halayim La Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Ka Halayim La Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Ka Halayim La Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakha Hakudash. I want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. Of the high spirit wind lawyer. All right, formerly known as Spirit Wind Judah. All right, of the GMS Mississippi camp. Giving all honor and glory to the Heavenly Father. Once again, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And today I want to go to a topic entitled Be That Brother. Be That Brother. And this is for inspiration, encouragement, you know, to put through this, not through me, but through Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, to put confidence and power into a brother to, or any, you know, brothers who may be on the other side and for whatever reason, you know, you're not in the camp, or maybe you travel afar. You travel afar to certain camps, man. You travel far, man, you know, to these camps. And maybe, just maybe the spirit doesn't want you in this camp that's far away from where you live. Maybe you may be a prophet that's going to be the cornerstone, the foundation to the camp that's in your city. And you might not see yourself in that light. You might not see yourself standing by yourself, you know, with a garment on and a 12 tribe sign and the word in your hand, prophesizing to the downfall of America. But guess what? You are not by yourself. You are not alone. And although when we first came to the camp, when we first came into the truth, it's a lot. Me and the former camp leader, although, you know, I wasn't by myself, all right, we was together, but it was still just the two of us. And that was the first time this had happened. You know, in the city of Jackson, we had not walked into a camp. We didn't have the luxury of walking into an established camp. You see? We did not have the luxury of walking into an established camp, so it was still initially scary. You know, it was still initially like, damn. And in one breath, you're filled with the spirit of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. But in another breath, it's like, man, we actually doing it, like, you know? And when you teach, you get the spirit takes over, and it's just like, hey, man, it's like you just left from a fight. Like you just came back from battle, like, shit, you know what I mean? The water Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. We're still here to teach this word, to preach this word, man. You see? But I'm saying that to say, you know, you might not see yourself as that brother that will go on the highways by yourself, but go by yourself. Pray to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. You know, if it's a situation where where you live is far from your camp, man, you know, and the spirit could, you know, open it to where you do join a camp that's maybe a little farther away. But a lot of brothers just don't see themselves as the brother that's going to start a particular camp. Be that brother. You might be the nucleus of the camp. And I was looking up the functions of the cell and the different components that make up the cell, because the spirit was on me to look it up. And all cells have a nucleus. And one thing that I remember that it said about the nucleus, that Google said about the nucleus, was that it's the command center of the cell. It's like the control center. but it's the command center of the particular cell. And when you start a camp, remind you that this is the body of Yahweh Shai. So in your camp, if your camp was like a particular cell, you're the brother that starts the camp. In most cases, you're the nucleus of the camp. You're that progenitor. You're that deer with the big antlers. You're the command center, the control center that gives the orders. You see, and it's not for your ego. It's just for order. But because you're the one that started it, you have that ranking system. You're part of that rank for the most in most cases. Sometimes it doesn't play out that way, but the brother that went out on the highways and the byways first, in most cases, that's the camp leader. You see, but you know, that's a result of that boldness. And as a fucking man, as a man of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, one thing that he forces his men to do is to be bold in righteousness. And that's being bold in righteousness. One thing I'm learning in this truth is that the Most High constantly requires you to step out your comfort zone, man. Constantly requires you to take leaps of faith, because your flesh makes you think that you are alone, or demons might make you feel like you are alone, but you are not alone. Psalm 34:7, an angel encampeth around about him that fear Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. When you're out on the highways and the byways, you are not alone. You have bodyguards. You have bodyguards that you cannot see. You have bodyguards that you cannot see. Probably having their arms folded right next to you, man. You have bodyguards that you can't see, man. You have bodyguards right next to you, man. You are not alone. When you go to sleep at night, it's like the son of a rich ambassador, the son of a rich king is sleeping at night, because he's surrounded by bodyguards. You cannot see. They're guarding your body because you are doing the work of the King of eternity. You are doing the work of the King of infinity, man. You're doing the work of the great King Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. So when you go to sleep at night, you are protected. When you're driving to work, you are protected. When you're at work, you are protected. When you go to camp, you are protected. When you start a camp, you are protected. The water, brother. This is from I want to pronounce this correctly. Aza Ya, like I know it's Idaho, so Isa Ya'ala, Idaho. Psalm 121:8. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Let me jump to 15. All right. Hey, Shalom, Elder Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai Barakatah. All right. Psalm 121:5. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Verse 18. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth, even forevermore. So trust me, there have no temptation taking you but such as is common to man. But Yahweh is faithful, that he will not suffer you to be tempted above that you are able, but will with the temptation create a way to escape. You see? And there's a great reward for this act of boldness from us coming on the highways and the byways, man, and putting our bodies on the line, our lives on the line. But the plot twist is you are protected. But the Most High tests your faith, man. He's seeing if you're going to do it. And when you do it, it's like a joy, rejoice in heaven. The angels rejoice like, okay, he went out there. He believed and he acted on the belief. And the elder brother that's in the chat, elder brother Yashawamba, I remember when y'all was under the page, Man Up Jacob, he was you and Element. And the first video I saw of y'all was in like the hood and he was persuading Jake, but it was just y'all two. It was just y'all two, man. You know, Then I eventually saw, you know, Elder Ariala and I think another brother. But these camps, when they first started, it was 1 or 2 brothers. Camps that got 50 men in it now. It's 50 men in the camp, 30, 40 men in the camp, 100 men in the camp. All right. A lot of these camps started with 1 brother, 2 brothers, 3 brothers. They chat with each other on the internet. Yeah, I stay in Chicago. Yeah, I stay in Chicago too. Hey, we should meet up at this time. Okay, this is my number. It started with 2, 3 brothers. You know, these camps, man. These the older brothers, the elders in the camps, man. They had to act out faith, and the Most High eventually gave them fruit, starting with the elder apostles of Great Millstone and their elders. You know, Elder Ya'iqwab, Elder Abba Bivens, High Priest Ariah, King Masha. You see? It started with them. You see? But then the Most High gave them fruit, and we're their fruit. And then we being their fruit, we had to go out on faith. You know? We had to step out on faith, man. And I speak the flesh, man. Initially for myself, like I said, that was scary. Initially going out, like in one breath you bold and you got this zeal, but another breath is like, man, we finna actually do it. Damn, this is it. You driving to looking for a camp spot. It's like, man, this is it right here. You know? And some brothers, like I said, you come into these established camps not knowing, or maybe you do know, that the camp leaders, they had to do what we're telling you to do right now. And that's be that brother that might have to start a camp by yourself, man. You know, instead of traveling for hours and hours to go to an established camp, you might have to be that brother that starts a camp by yourself. There was a particular time when the elder Pastor Har gave a decree, no new members in GMS. And at that time, we had brothers that was on the outside. And these were brothers that were not in the camp, right? And because we as the leaders, we not only follow orders, but through the Spirit, you are a buffer that protects your camp. Your job is to protect the men in your camp. So it's not safe to have men come inside the camp that haven't been proven. But this is how Yahweh Bahashim Al-Shai proved some of the brothers that's currently in our camp. Because of the decree, they had certain brothers, they didn't join our camp immediately. They had to teach on their own. You know? You see? So the city that they lived in, they had to set up a camera and go in front of a store. And you know what? They went out on faith and they taught on their own. So it wasn't like they were just in their apartments or their house doing house videos, which that's doing the work too. They stepped out on faith and taught on their own. In their towns, in their cities. You know? By themselves. You know? Bold as a lion. They proved themselves, man. And then eventually, the Most High opened up the door, so to speak, so they could come into the camp, but they proved themselves, man. You see? So sometimes, hey, look, man, think about all these prophets, man, that really they showed their faith. All these men of the Lord had to show their faith, and it was scary. Can you picture actually being in a freaking furnace? Think about that, man. We read it and we imagine it like, I see myself in a furnace. Man, you can't really imagine that, man. It is certain things that my mind can't really fathom. Like just imagine your local governor. Think about your governor in your state. They're Edomite, and he sends a decree here. They finna get a quick execution. Like you're already in like confinement. You've already been detained, and there's an instant decree of instant guillotine. Oh, they don't want to take the charagma? That's an instant guillotine. Or the fact that we've been teaching, that's an instant guillotine. Just imagine that. You hear them say it like, yeah, or you overhear the guards talking like, yeah, they're gonna go and execute him. And they're talking about you in third person. You know what I mean? And it's like, damn, it's really happening. That's what happened. All right, with the king of Babylon. I'm sorry, the Persian king, I think at the time. So correct me on the comment board, it's a lot. But they had to be taken to the furnace. They were sentenced to death. You see, they were sentenced to death, man. So just imagine, like, you have to walk to the fucking furnace. You have to walk to the furnace. Think about that. But they had high faith. They had extreme faith. They were so bold with the king. They were so bold with the king. And that was just very audacious. Because you're talking to the king. You gotta picture all these things. But just imagine, man, you have to walk to the furnace. That long walk. You know, you seen Green Mile. When Jake was walking towards that execution chamber. That walk before you're supposed to go back to the spirit world, man. You know, that death row walk, man. Come on, man. You see, all these men were put in these positions. These men of Yahweh Bashmal Shai, he always puts these men in positions where you could die. And you have to prove yourself. In the world, you got initiations, blood sacrifices, humiliation rituals. We got that on the right-hand side. The Most High does his men like that, man. He did his son like that. To get that preeminent position of ruling over existence, we have to go through it too. But it starts with actually going on the highways and the byways. And for some of you brothers, that might include you starting a camp. Depending on your location, the logistics of your city and what you all got going on per your situation, you know, you might have to go on the highways and the byways. You might have to start that camp. It's more of a comfort zone to walk into an established camp. That's more of a comfort zone thing, man. But you might have to be that progenitor. You might have to be that nucleus. The Most High might be sending you up to be the foundation of that particular camp, man. Once again, not for ego, but for order. You know? And we've had beloved, he's an elder. It's 2026. We met with him in 2016. And he was a brother that watched the Mississippi camp as well as other camps. I know he watched the Dallas camp. But we were close to him. He was the elder brother Nabah from Memphis. He'll drive faithfully from Memphis to Jackson, you know, and, you know, watch the camp. It's 2016. The Spirit was on us to tell him, like, you know, basically start your camp in Memphis. You know, but that was 10 years ago. Now look how the Most High has blessed the Memphis camp, man. With that elder brother Nabah, beloved brother, beautiful brother, elder brother, you know. It's like, damn. Time flies in hell in Babylon. 10 years, man. You know? And if any brother has ever been to the Memphis camp, hey, it's a beautiful camp. You see? You know? But when you make it's the Most High is so balanced. When you make these leaps of faith, these steps of faith, he always blesses you, man. He gives you rewards on this side, like these leaps of faith, man. It's like you making a father nod his head give him a head nod of approval. Okay, yeah, he did it, man. You know, like, okay, because all his men had to do it. I take that over offering my son. Most High told Abraham to sacrifice his son Isaac. Now, how many of y'all got sons, man? Now picture the Most High ordering you, hey, go offer your son up as an offering. Go get them sticks. Yeah, and set him, make a little altar. Build your little altar, man. Yeah, build your little altar. And put your son, your boy. Yeah, I got the same basketball jersey on. Yeah, your boy, sacrifice him for me. Abraham just did it. Well, he was attempting to do it a lot, which was a foreshadow of the Most High offering up his son, Yahweh Shai. You know? But I'm thinking of events where men of Yahweh Shai had to do the uncomfortable, had to do the opposite of normal, man. You know, and this is our requirement, and it can be scary to the flesh, man. Like, damn, I gotta step out and I gotta, yeah, your coworkers might see you. You know, yeah, your schoolmates might see you. People who receive you in a certain light, and now they see you doing that. It's like, damn. You know, like you one of them. You know, they got you too. You know, like, yeah, humiliation ritual through the spirit. You know, because the Most High don't need us, but it's part of His program. We're part of His program. You know, so I want this to be of an encouragement and empowerment, whether you do end up in a camp, you know, or whether you just have to do, start your own camp, man. You know, but just know that you're bigger than what you probably think you are, man. And you're capable of more than what you think you're capable of, man. And with those men in these camps that you're looking at, what they're doing, you could do. You could read, you could teach through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashim Shai, most likely. Every brother can't take the title of, oh, I'm just a help. Every brother can't use that as an excuse. Some brothers are genuine helps. But even a lot of the helps, they're competent readers. They're good researchers. You see? But you can't always use that thing, oh, I'm just a help. You know? Help yourself. Help yourself, man. And help yourself put on a garment and teach. You know? If this makes sense, man. You know? The scripture says, force not the course of the river. Sometimes, that might not be your lot, to teach. But I want this to be an encouragement for brothers that's going, out the way or whatever it may have you. Maybe the camp, you know what I mean? Something might have happened, discrepancies, and you can't be a part of a camp. It just, take that leap of faith, man. We all have to go through it. We all have to go through it, man. But I really don't want to stop. But through the spirit, that's it. Let me check the comments. Scripture. All right. I hope this was of edification. Once again, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashon Kahakodash. I also want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone Ruel, as well as peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. The water for tuning in. Baba Kumya Shalom.